you all for coming for today's Bhagavatam class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Okay, today we'll be reading from Canto 4, Chapter 11, verse 2. Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Goyak Nirmitaha Shipram Venu Shirvedura Klesha Jnanodaye Yataha Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Guyak Nirmitaha Shipram Venu Shirvidura Klesha Jnanodaye Yata Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Guyak Nirmitaha Shipram Veneshur Vidura Klesha Jnanodaye Yata. Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Guhyaka Nirmitaha Shipram Veneshur Vidura Klesha Jnanodaye Yata. Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Guhyaka Nirmitaha Shipram Veneshur Vidura Jnanodaye Yata. Sandhyamana etasmin Klesha Jnanodaye Yata. Sandhyamana etasmin Maya Guhyaka Nirmitaha Shipram Venushur Vidura Klesha Jnanodaya Yata. Word for word. Sandhyamane, while joining to his bow. Etasmin, his Narayanastra. Maya, the illusions. Guhyaka Nirmitaha, created by the Yakshas. Shipram, very soon. Venusur, were destroyed. Vidura, O Vidura. Klesha, illusionary pains and pleasures. Jnana, Udaye, upon the arising of knowledge. Yata, just as. Translation. As soon as Dhruva Maharaj joined the Narayanastra arrow to his bow, the illusion created by the Yakshas were immediately vanquished, just as all material pains and pleasures are vanquished when one becomes fully cognizant of the self. Purport: Krishna is like the sun, and Maya, or the illusionary energy of Krishna, is like darkness. Darkness means absence of light. Similarly, Maya means absence of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness and Maya are always there side by side. As soon as there is awakening of Krishna consciousness, all the illusionary pains and pleasures of material existence are vanquished. Mayam etam tarantite. Constant chanting of Maha Mantra will keep us always aloof from the illusionary energy of Maya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vetamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you once again for coming for today's Bhagavatam class. This is your first time to temple? You've been here before, all of you? First time for some of you? It's nice. You live close by? Far? Northwest. Okay. Nice. Nice to meet you all. Hare Krishna. So, we've been discussing Dhruva Maharaj's pastime and we are in the chapter 11 now. So, in the previous chapter, what has happened is Dhruva actually realizes that his brother was killed in the forest while he went hunting. And who killed Uttama, Dhruva's brother? The Yaksha. Very good. So, because he heard the news and Dhruva was very angry, so he wanted to take revenge. So, he went to Alakhapuri, which is the city of Yakshas. He waged a war with the Yakshas. Dhruva and Yaksha started fighting. They released arrows at each other. Dhruva started with 3 arrows at a time over the Yakshas, and in retaliation Yaksha gave 6 arrows. So fight was going on between them. Dhruva was actually mounted with so much arrows that he was covered. And then when Yakshas were declaring the victory, then Dhruva said, waged the, threw arrows at Yakshas, making them throw away their weapons. So finally Dhruva emerged victorious. But not able to take the defeat, Yaksha started giving illusions to young Dhruva, and Dhruva started hearing sounds. He saw a dust storm appearing in front of him, He was confused when he saw the sky. It was actually forecasted with clouds, with thunder and lightning. This is all illusion which the yakshas are creating for Dhruva, so to confuse or disturb him. He also saw rain coming with blood and mucus and urine and whatnot. And he saw mad elephants coming towards him. He saw deadly snakes, lion, tiger coming to devour him. And he also saw fierce ocean coming towards him. So the Yaksha had made those visions so that Dhruva will get scared and not punish them anymore, or they wanted to confuse him in retaliation for their defeat. So what we understand from this verse is, here the young Dhruva is using his weapons and he's also killing people. He's killing yakshas. So both of them, like using the weapons or killing people, are not necessarily against the principles of devotional service. It is okay. When it is used in the service of Krishna, taking weapons or killing people is also okay. So one may ask, oh, Dhruva used Narayanastra, the arrow on the bow, and that arrow was provided by Narayan himself. He prepared for Dhruva and gave him. How is it even possible? Why should God do to give this to Dhruva so he can kill others? We will see in the coming, when we are discussing more, we'll come to the point why God is equipping Dhruva. It's basically for protecting a devotee. God takes necessary steps. And talking about weapons, have we seen Lord Narayan with weapons, Lord Ram with weapons, or even Parshuram with weapons? So there is some sort of attachment to weapons. Krishna likes weapons. Why? In material world also, we see that weapons are a major source of power. If a country is equipped with a lot of nuclear weapons, then they get a lot of respect. They are treated with wow, and they are, because they can defend themselves clearly because of the arms they have, because of the nuclear weapons they have. So if one showcases weapons, it means that they are having power, they have influence, they also get respect. But does Krishna need to have weapons? Is it necessary for Krishna to have weapons? No. Just like how, even without a flute, Krishna can just whistle and make the sound equal to that of a flute music, Krishna doesn't need any weapons. He can just by a glance destroy a universe. By just throwing some negative energy on people, he can destroy. Or even by just thinking to destroy a person, he can destroy. Because Krishna is unlimited. He can do anything. He can see and eat. Right? We offer food, but does he have to take in the hand and put it in his mouth? No. He eats just by a glance. Right? So Krishna is unlimited, and it is not necessary that he needs weapons, but still he uses weapons. Like if we see Lord Narayan, he has that Shankha, he has a chakra, he has Gada, bow and arrow, maybe the sword, big swords that he uses. So what is it all showing? This shows that Lord Narayan actually, because some devotees want to give respect to such type of Lord, and Lord Narayan expresses his mood so that he allows devotees to actually offer respects to him, and they have a relationship in Dasya Bhav. So Krishna likes that. Even when we see supreme kings have a sense of fighting, right? In the first canto, we would have seen Maharaj Parikshit actually conquering earth and offering respects to earth. So it is said that a Kshatriya means he will fight, and for him it's just like a sport. So just like how he goes to any cricket ground, if any for a sportsman, wherever he goes, it's like he wants to be there. He wants to fight against the opponents and win. So for Kshatriya, it's just like a match. It's just like a game, right? So you will see the warriors are expressing their sense of chivalry in the battlefield, trying to beat the opponent. And so these are not just limited to material world. We can see that there is in spiritual world also one is able to fight amongst each other, express their chivalrous mood, show their competitive spirit. So even in Vrindavan, even in spiritual world, these kind of fights happen between Krishna, Gopas, and with the demons. And you can see Krishna has been killing lot of demons in the forest and in Vrindavan. Yeah. So we can also see Krishna has also used weapons like Sudarshan Chakra, Kaumadaki, wherever it's required. Why? Because we know the side of the Lord which says Paritranaya Shadunam Vinashayacha Dushkritam Dharma Samstapanataya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. What's the translation? In order to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. So Krishna uses weapons to establish the principles of religion and to protect his devotees. So Srila Prabhupada explains that generally Vaishnavas don't take any weapons. They are mostly very simple, they don't want to fight, and they are comfortable the way they are. But if necessary, they will take weapons and they will fight. Right? And we can see in the conversations or in letter with Robert Henry, where Srila Prabhupada writes, you envisioning a party of 300 soldiers chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra throughout the world pleases me. Why? Srila Prabhupada encourages Henry by saying that I was always wanting to start the World Sankirtan movement, and you expressing your desire for the soldiers, the Krishna conscious soldiers, to march chanting the holy name, I feel like I have almost fulfilled my dream. So it's not that Srila Prabhupada wouldn't take any weapon, or he says why shouldn't we fight? So Krishna consciousness is also like a fight against Maya, right? So, and what is our weapon? Can anybody explain? What weapon do we use in Sankirtana movement? Mahamantra. But in this context where the exchange is happening between Henry and Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada actually mentions a specific thing. What would it be? What can it be? Any more guesses? A bit more specific, possible, huh? Bhagavatam, possible. But here Prabhupada specifically mentions of one particular thing. What can it be? It's related to Sankirtan movement. That is Sankirtan. What do we use for Sankirtana? Kartal. Kartals is the answer. So he mentions here that it's an effective weapon, not that we throw on each other and actually fight against each other, but he uses that to spread the holy name. So in that sense, Kartal is used, and it is mentioned, that Srila Prabhupada mentions that usually there's no need to fight because the people are anyway disturbed and there's no need of any weapons because people are undergoing lot of problems, they are like short-lived, they have poor fund of knowledge, they don't want to advance themselves in spiritually, They go through adversities in society. It could be famine, it could be flood, diseases, poverty, and so on. So, is it necessary to have a rifle and shoot one down? It's nothing when you compare to all this that we are going through, right? It's nothing. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced this movement of Sankirtana, where one uses the holy name to spread Krishna consciousness and to benefit the people. In a letter to Hamsatuta Prabhu, who was the leader at that time, 1972, the Prabhu was GBC at that time. It seems like there was a problem where some antisocial elements were coming and disturbing the peace in temple. They were attacking the temple, they were creating problems. So, hearing that incident, Srila Prabhupada writes back, he's saying, on account of that incident, I feel bad that this has happened. Try to, because these antisocial elements are like small, they are just small boys. So Prabhupada first emphasizes, try and go and speak to their leader, explain our philosophy, try and give them prasad, try to offer them some nice gifts, and in that way the leaders will understand, and then you would not have to fear staying in the temple and fighting them. But if you use armed confrontation, what will happen is the fight is going to become more and more, and it is only going to disturb the devotees' peace. So this is the first thing which Srila Prabhupada says. Second thing is, but if you need to, have a shotgun and use it if required. That's Srila Prabhupada. So it is not that devotees means they'll always be quiet, humble, but where it's required, where we have to save our peace, we can use violence. So it sometimes why Prabhupada is emphasizing on non-violence first is because when we start fighting, confronting people, then we start having more and more negativities towards each other. And it is not just for this generation. We would have seen in families that generation after generation we would carry that negative mood, and then great grandfather would have done would have fought with each other, and even the grandsons would be carrying that revenge in their heart. If you ask them, why are you fighting, why are you not talking to each other, they wouldn't even know the reason. So instead of doing that, Prabhupada emphasizes, buy them some nice gifts, offer them prasadam, and if needed, use shotguns as a secondary option. The next example which happens, which I can quote here, is Tamakrishna Maharaj, and between Tamakrishna Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. It's in Mayapur, it's a room conversation. Tamakrishna Maharaj expresses that in North America, there were, when devotees used to distribute books in the airport, there's some, some people who are like, envious towards devotees would come and they would actually disturb the book distributors. Whenever they distribute books, they will go to the recipient and say, don't buy these books, these people are cheaters. No. So like that they will actually stop people from buying books. So Tamakrishna Maharaj was like, should I change the airport, should I change the place where I'm distributing books, Prabhupada, what do I do? And eventually he states that what we did is we actually arranged for a professional distributor. Do we understand what it means, like a professional distributor going and distributing? So the emphasis is given to the word professional. So this professional distributor goes, and then this guy comes and again disturbs the book distribution. So this fellow watches this guy who's disturbing week after week. Then in a month, this professional guy goes and sits in this man's garage. Just when he was about to hit home, this professional fellow hit him, and after this 9 months of disturbing, he understood why he is getting hit, and it seems this fellow hit him nicely, and Tamakrishna Maharaj says that this fellow knew why he's getting beaten, and from then on he wouldn't turn up to the airport. So Prabhupada was like, good, Yes, nice work. So, Harisari Prabhu, who was also in the same room, he said, but don't we have to do it carefully, discreetly, all these things? Prabhupada was like, no, this was very nicely done. Hiding in one's garage, he has hit home, and then they hit him. Tamakrishna Maharaj said, yes, he understood why he is getting beaten up, and he didn't turn up. Srila Prabhupada says, yes, this is allowed. That is Krishna consciousness. So we have seen that we have discussed a bit about violence in this section, and in this chapter Swayambhu Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj actually to stop fighting. We are discussing how violence can be used appropriately. See, this element of violence is mostly associated to people with power, the ruling class. Yeah. So usually kings means they will punish criminals. So if king sees in their the major aspect of their social life or the political life, means if they see somebody actually making mistakes, if they see that their citizens are not being taken care of, it's the king's job to protect them. So, and it is the king's job to give punishment to the criminals also. So even if it means giving them death penalty, a king has to do it. And Srila Prabhupada has spoke in favor of death penalty. He mentions that it is some form of mercy that is given to the murderer. How? Let's say if one person kills another person, and if this person is not given punishment, then it means based on karma he will go to hell. But if the king actually gives him death penalty and he goes through the punishment, then there is a chance that after death he can also go to heaven. So Prabhupada says that it is a mercy offered to this murderer. So death penalty was a thing those days, and even now in China we have heard it seems nearly 5,000 to 7,000 people every year are given death penalty. In one way they are actually getting rid of the population. In one way they are actually saving their jail so that people they don't have to take care of those prisoners. And it goes to such an extent that even the bullet which is used to kill that person, they charge the family to pay for it. It's that extent. Yeah. So now when we go to the purport, we see the difference that is discussed between Krishna and Maya. What does it say? Krishna means it's compared to sun, which is light. Maya means it is compared to illusionary energy or darkness. And if one exists, the other is not there? No, it's like day and night. It exists side by side. So with Krishna consciousness, one is able to get out of the illusionary pains and pleasures in the material existence are vanquished. We have to note, Prabhupada says illusionary pains and pleasures in the material world. So he says pain and pleasure are both illusionary in the material world. It is not real. So you don't have to think so much about the pain that you have in the material life, or even about the pleasures that you have in material life. So Mayam etam tarantite is also discussed in the purport. What does it say? The continuous by the process of chanting, we are able to keep aloof from the illusionary energy of Maya. How many of us are chanting in this room? Few of us, right? So if we take up to the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is only 16 syllables, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All the pains and pleasures that come in our material life will be in balance. So we will be able to face the pains and pleasures very easily. So sometimes even pleasure is in a way, it is affecting us. If we have the material pleasure is what? One might have too much alcohol, one might have too much meat, or one might have too much enjoyment like dancing or anything that gives you more enjoyment at the end of the day gives you suffering also. So we need to make sure that the pains and pleasures are not affecting us. So we take up to the process of chanting Maha Mantra. And to explain this verse, it says, Devihi Esha Gunamai, right? Even Maya is Krishna's divine energy, it seems. And Gunamai, so it constitutes of three modes of material nature. What are the three modes of material nature? Sattva, Rajas, and Tama. People in Sattva will be usually in the mode of happiness, goodness, happiness, and they will be full of knowledge, they'll be in happiness. But do we need to get stuck up in that level? Or in next thing is people in Rajaguna will be more ambitious. And do we want to be in the mode of being achieving goal after goal after goal and still stuck there? Or do we want to be in Tamaguna, making oneself lazy and making procrastinating things? Do we want to be in that state? See, all of these states are making us be binded, and we are not able to get out of it. Some people might be rich, they might be being peaceful, they will acquire knowledge, they might be happy. But is that all? Don't they need Krishna consciousness? They need to go above it, right? Similarly, one might be an achiever, a goal seeker. Similarly, one might be like, take it easy, don't care, sleep hours after hours, then what is required for one's body. But all this will actually keep us in illusion. So we don't want to be in that state. So one might say, okay, Maya is giving us so much difficulties, but actually is Maya bad? Maya gives us a lot of tests. Are we happy to attend tests? Usually people will be like, no, I don't want to attend exams. But yeah, studious people would want to attend the test, get over it. They want to improve themselves. They want to advance themselves in spiritual knowledge. They want to take those tests. So just like how we go from grade 1 to grade 12 and then to college and then to... Similarly in spiritual life also, we might be starting level devotees. We might be in a stage where, okay, we have not... we want to go to pub and dance and enjoy, but at one point people will say, no, I don't want to do this. It means that they have conquered their level of Maya. Then at some point they'll be like, okay, I don't want to take meat, I'll leave meat, okay, that's fine. I want to follow 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. That's one level. So they'll overcome Maya. So devotee's life, and once they become a devotee, it'll be like, okay, I have to read scriptures, maybe I'll learn shlokas. No, initially they'll be like, I don't want to learn shlokas. Then they'll overcome that, hurdle of learning shlokas. Then they'll want to read regularly, and sometimes they might don't want to chant. People don't want to chant normally, so they might be like, okay, now I've come to 16 rounds, I've overcome Maya, I've come to 16 rounds of chanting. And after some time, what happens? Then Maya is coming in a different way. It'll come through mobiles. It'll be like, okay, you're anyway doing 16 rounds, why don't you watch a mobile for some time? So Maya will attack us like that. Then one has to be very watchful. Okay, I should not be watching mobile when I'm chanting. So one will try to overcome that Maya. And okay, when reading, I'm reading, I'm absorbing, but some people might not be able to apply. Why? Because they are only wanting knowledge, but the application is a Maya for them. So if one wants to overcome that Maya, then they have to start applying whatever they are learning in their day-to-day activities. For some who are actually started applying that knowledge of what they are learning, then they've overcome that Maya. After that, then it'll be like, are you you're doing it just for, okay, you're reading, you're applying. Are you doing out of love? Or are you doing just because you have to apply? So when it comes voluntarily, when it comes without you putting a lot of effort, then it means you have reached some stage, right? Then naturally love towards Gopinath, Radha Gopinath will come, which means you have overcome lot of steps, lot of hurdles which Maya has given you. So what we should ideally do is, for a student, if something is coming as Maya, the person or a student should actually try to take the negativities out and replace it with positive outcome, which means, like, let's say if I'm using today mobile for watching some short films, or for watching some ads, or some advertisements, right? So I will replace my watching the short films and all that with me watching some kirtan, or me using the mobile to learn some dance, which kids Janmashtami is coming. Kids can actually watch the dance, practice, and perform as a service to Krishna. Me as a, maybe when I'm in, if I'm in college and if I want to go out with friends, go shopping, go to movie, you can ask the friend to come to temple, maybe do some services together, play instruments together, have prasadam together, have a bonding session in and around the temple, or even in a devotee's home. Do some kirtan, replace what you want to do with Krishna consciousness. Similarly, so for every stage in life, it could be grihasthas not able to focus on their progressive goals, then have that association of devotees who are like-minded, sit together, read something, where then your focus is like on turning that tests of Maya into something which is giving positive outcome, so we can overcome our limitations. So this can be done along with whatever we are doing, like replacing the negative with the good. We should also be doing the chanting, which actually helps us make things much easier. So that's why the more emphasis is given in the process of chanting. So whatever we find it challenging, and whatever test Maya is providing to us, we'll be able to overcome much easily. So that is what I had to say. Any questions, comments? Hare Krishna. Yes. Could you please explain on pains and pleasures? I- What happens when they evaporate? They because we are in material world, we will have material pains and pleasures, right? And if we have to evaporate that material pains and pleasures, we have to do the process of chanting. It will help because our focus will be fixed on our spiritual goals rather than on material problems. So then automatically we will not give much importance to the pain and pleasures. We'll take it as part of our life, part of our growing, coming out of that symptomatic symptoms of material world, and then we'll go progress towards the spiritual life. Yeah. Yeah, initially, nobody, I mean, even though we are thinking we are doing out of love, there will be some sort of inhibitions, not allowing us to do it perfectly. If it means that by doing your service, you're affecting somebody um, in the service, then it still means we have not attained that stage. When we are doing service to Krishna, if Krishna is pleased, then everybody around you will also be pleased. So try to do service that Krishna will be your Guru and Krishna will be pleased, and eventually people around you will also be pleased. In that sense, you'll know that you're doing out of love and not out of, yeah, just for the sake of doing. Yeah. Krishna. I'm not really sure. Yeah. Correct. Hmm. Lord Balram, the potency of pleasure giving potency. Rama, Ramu, it's just because of the accent of the religion that they belong to, they do it as Ramu, but Rama is correct. Correct. But if they, because of their pronunciation, because they are used to it, and if they are, I mean, God will understand. So that should be okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.